So I have built an AI agent which takes product images like the one you're seeing on screen and converts them into these amazing marketing assets. It uses Nano Banana to generate all of these images and that too automatically. These generated images are ready to be posted on your social media platform without any editing. All you have to do is give it the product image and the product details, and that's it. It generates these images for you. You can even customize the types of images you want or the style of your image. For example, the style right now is cinematic. If you want, you can change it to something which is soft and subtle. It really depends on your brand. So let me show you the process. All you have to do is fill out this simple form with the product image, name, category, price, and stuff like that, and hit submit. After that, this AI agent on the back end is going to start doing its job and it will start creating your images. It will come up with the ideas on its own, it will come up with the prompts on its own, and then generate the images using Gemini's Nano Banana. Once done, it will add it to a Google Drive folder from where you can access them and save them directly. Now, you might have a question that, Yashika, why would I go with this automation instead of just asking Gemini to generate the images for me? Well, that's a valid question, but the thing is that if you generate it like this, then firstly, you will have to come up with the ideas yourself. After that, you will have to write the prompts. And if the prompts are not that great, you will have to go through a chain of iterations. You'll have to go back and forth and ask it to edit things for you. Getting one final image can take you anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes, and if you generate so many, it can take you hours and hours. And here it will also not have a lot of context about your brand, your product, etc. You'll have to type it out manually. But in the case of the automation, it already knows your brand, it already knows your style, your personality, your product, and automatically comes up with the ideas and the images. This AI agent literally takes a couple of minutes to generate your images, which I think is a great time saver. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can create this amazing AI agent from the start till the very end. So even if you have never built an AI agent before, you will be able to set this up if you watch this video till the very end. Okay, so before we start building, a quick introduction about myself. So hello everybody, my name is Yashika Jain and I am an AI automation expert. I have been running my AI automation agency for a little over 2 years now, and we help businesses integrate AI into their processes. And if you're interested in AI automation solutions for your business, then the link to our website is in the description below. And yes, I love to share whatever I've learned throughout my journey. So if you're interested in more videos like these, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to follow me on LinkedIn as well as X for some exclusive content and insights. So that's it about me. Now we can get back into the video and let's build this amazing AI agent. And yes, for the people who are new to this automation has been created using a platform that is called N8N. So it's a no-code automation platform which allows you to create these amazing AI agents, AI workflows without having to code. Now, a very good thing about N8N is that you can literally self-host the platform, which means you can run the entire platform on your own server without having to pay for the cloud subscriptions. So people go with self-hosting as compared to the cloud subscription because of mainly two reasons. The first reason is because of the cost savings. If you go with self-hosting, then it costs you about a fraction of amount that you would have paid if you had gone with the cloud subscription. And secondly is the data security. Since you have the entire platform running on your server, you only have access to your data. No one else can see your data. And the good thing is that you don't have to be technical to self-host the platform. It literally takes a few minutes and then you can keep using it forever. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can self-host the platform just in a moment. Now, there are different ways using which you can self-host N8N, but the method I go with personally for my agency as well as for my clients is using Hostinger's VPS. We can easily self-host N8N using Hostinger. You can have as many workflows and automations as you want. You can run them as many times and you can run them concurrently as many times as you want. If you go with the cloud plan, then there is a limit on the number of times you can execute a workflow. And on top of that, you can access all the community nodes out there and they come with a 30 days money back guarantee. Talking about the performance, I have been using it for a long time now. I have no complaints. The automations run perfectly. There's no downtime, they run 24/7. It's extremely easy to set up. It's just like a one-click installation process. You can easily scale it as you create more and more automations and AI agents. And yes, their support team is available 24/7. Now let's have a look at the different plans that we have in here. So out of all of these plans, I would suggest that you go with the KVM2 plan, which comes with 2 vCPU cores, 8 GB RAM, 100 GB NVMe disk space, and 8 TB bandwidth. And if you compare the pricing with the cloud plan, this is extremely cheap. The cloud plan is at about 24 euros a month, and just compare it with this price. There's a huge difference. This comes at a fraction of the cost. So if you want to self-host Anyten, go ahead, click on the link in the description. You will land on this page, scroll down, and then click on choose plan for KVM2. Then you will land inside their cart. Here you can select for how long you want to purchase your VPS server for. They also have an extension for daily auto backup, which can get your VPS data backed up every day. So if you want that, then don't forget to go with this extension. After that, select the server location which is the closest to you, and then don't forget to select Anyten here. Okay, so this is ready. Now, since you're watching this video, I have some good news for you. So if you go with the 24 months plan, you can click on have a coupon code and enter the coupon code Yashika15 to get a flat 15% discount on your total. There you go. Or else if you're going with the 12 months plan, you can go ahead and enter the coupon code Yashika to get a flat 10% off. At this price, you would have got a 3-month subscription for the cloud plan as compared to 12 months with your own self-hosted VPS server. It personally sounds like a no-brainer to me. So yes, you will find all the coupon codes, the link, etc. in the description below. Once you're ready, you can click on continue and purchase. Now let me show you how you can go ahead and set up your VPS server. So once the purchase is completed, you will land right here. All you have to do is go to the VPS section. There you will see the KVM2 VPS we just now bought, and all you have to do is click on the setup button. Then select the server location which is the closest to you and click on next. Then we have to choose an operating system. So I'm just going to search for Anyten and I will select the first option. So let's click on select. Then you have to create a root password which you will use to log in into your VPS. So just create a password and make sure to store it somewhere. After that, click on next. Make sure this is checked and click on finish. Okay, so now it's going to take a few minutes to set up. You can leave the page if you want to, and once it is done, it will send you an email. And yes, not to forget, this video has been sponsored by Hostika. Okay, so it has been completed, and now let's click on Manage VPS. And as you can see, our server is live. Let's click on Manage App now. So create an account and then you will land directly onto your Anyten dashboard. Basically, your self-hosted Anyten dashboard. And yes, if you don't like the light theme just like myself, then head over to these 3 dots and click on Settings. After that, head over to Personal. And as you can see here under Personalization and Theme, we can easily change it to the dark theme. Don't forget to save it. And there you go. Now to create this very amazing AI agent, all we have to do is click on this orange button that says Create Workflow. Okay, now we need some sort of a method to give an input to our AI agent. So basically, we want to give it the product image, we want to give it the product details, etc. And I feel the best way to do that is by simply filling out a form. And thanks to Anyten, we can easily create a form within Anyten itself. So I'm going to click on plus and I will select on form submission. And now it will actually allow me to create the form that I can fill out each time. So let's give our form a title. Okay, so let me call it Product Marketing Image Generator. Then let me put a description. And now we have to add the questions for our form one by one. So let's add the first question, which is going to be please upload the product image because that is very, very important. So I'm just going to call it product image. And since it's not a text and a file, I will select file. Now I just want to accept JPG format and PNG because I don't want someone to upload a PDF from my team. So I'm going to specify those file types, and then I will turn on this to make sure everyone fills out this particular question or basically uploads the file. The next one on the list can be product name. Okay, again, this is required. Then if you want, you can also put product category in case your business sells a lot of different products. And let's turn this on. Lastly, I can also put price range just in case you want the AI agent to know the price so that it can distinguish between luxury products, everyday products, essentials, etc. So again, I'm going to turn this on. Lastly, I'll put one more field wherein the person filling out the form can put any details about the product, like the unique selling point or anything like that. And I'm going to turn this on. By the way, the element type is going to be text area because again, this can be a long description about the product. The next question can be target audience. So it's very important for your AI agent to know the target audience because if you're targeting kids, then obviously it's going to be more of a playful image. If it's, let's say, women, then it's different. If it's old age people, it's different. So I hope you get my point. Again, this is required. Lastly, I'm going to ask them the type of images they want. So marketing image types. So I'm not sure if you noticed it earlier, but we have two types of images here. The first is a lifestyle image where we're actually using that particular product inside a real life scenario. And the other one is more of a product showcase or a product placement that is there to attract the viewers or attract the people who are scrolling on Instagram. So again, in my form, I want to give them an option to choose if they want to generate both type of images or they just want to generate, let's say, lifestyle images. So let's put check boxes and let's say lifestyle photography. And the second one is product placements and mockups. So for each category, we are going to generate a total of 5 images. So let's say they just select this, so they will get 5 images for lifestyle. If they select both, then they will get 10 images, 5 for lifestyle and 5 for product placements and mockups. Okay, again, this is going to be a required field. Let's change the final button name. So I'm going to click on add option and then button label. So instead of submit, I will change it to generate images. So basically, if they click on this button, it starts generating the images. Okay, so now let's click on execute step and let's have a look at the form we have created. Okay, so product image, name, category, price, more about the product, target audience, and the image types. Okay, so now I would request you to fill out this form at least once so that we get all the answers inside our automation so that we can easily create the automation. If you don't have a product at the moment, you can use some dummy product available online. If you do, then upload the correct product image, which shows the product completely from the front itself. Okay, so I've filled out the form with this particular image as you can see, and I've given the product name. Again, everything is just made up. It's hypothetical. I don't own a shoe brand, okay? And then I've also told it to generate both the lifestyle as well as product placement images. Now let's click on generate images. Okay, form submitted. Let me come back to Anytone, and as we can see, we have an output right here. So this is the image. If you want to see your product details, then come to schema and you will see all the details here. Okay, so moving forward, we have uploaded the image, but Nano Banana or Gemini needs it in the form of a URL. So if you want to pass the image to them, then you need to pass a URL to them. So for that, I think the easiest way is to just upload it to Google Drive, and then we get a URL for our product image, which we can easily pass to Nano Banana. So let me click on the plus icon and let me search for Google Drive. After that, I'm going to select for upload a file, and we're just going to upload the file which was uploaded on the form to Google Drive. So firstly, connect your Google Drive account. The resource should be file, operation should be upload. Then it's asking where is your file stored, basically what is the field name. So as we can clearly see in the inputs pane, it is product image. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it here. Then it's asking for the file name. I'll just use the original file name. So go to schema and here you will find the file name as you can see, and let me just drag and drop this here. Now to keep everything tidy, I would want you to create like a new folder inside your Google Drive where all of these product images and the generated images will be stored. Okay, so I've created this parent folder which is AI Marketing Creatives, and inside this I will create a subfolder which is for all the uploaded images. Okay, let me click on this. So any image which comes through from the form will be uploaded here so the AI agent and Nano Banana can easily access it. So let's go back, and instead of this, we are going to select by URL, and I'm going to paste the URL of this particular folder right here. And now let me click on execute. And as you can see, the file has been uploaded. If I come back here and I refresh this, I can see that the file has been uploaded to this folder. Now, before I pass this to the AI agent, I would like to do one more thing. So basically, in my main folder, which is AI Marketing Creatives, I would want to create a folder for each product so that any image associated with that product is within that folder. So let's go back here. Let's select Google Drive one more time. And this time, let's select Create Folder. There you go. Now we need to specify the folder name, and I think the product name can be the folder name. Let me close this and let me open the form submissions, and let me drag and drop the product name. And since we already have a parent folder, again, I'm going to select by URL, and I'm going to copy the URL of the main parent folder, which is this one. And let me click on execute. So folder created. Let's check it here. Let me refresh. Okay, so now a folder has been created for that particular product, and any generated images will be dropped in here. Okay, now let's go ahead and set up details regarding your brand name, your brand tone, your target audience, the types of images you generate, the color palette, typography, and stuff like that, so that the AI agent knows what your brand is and all the images it generates are consistent. So I'm going to click on the plus icon and I will search for edit fields. Then let's select JSON. Now I basically have a JSON ready, which I'm also going to share with you. And in that, all you have to do is change your brand details, and that's it. So here is the JSON. Let me open it up for you. So basically, we're telling it the brand name, tone, color theme, lighting style, typography, composition guidelines, target audience, personality, values, and elements. Basically, elements to avoid. And all you have to do is change these lines. So just change the brand name, then change your tone, basically change all of these accordingly. If you're not able to do it yourself, you can ask ChatGPT to change them for you. So you will find this in the resources linked in the description below. They're free to access. So any text I use throughout the video, for example, this one, or any prompts I use, everything would be available there for you to copy paste. So once you have given it details about your brand, you will click on execute step. Okay, so we have everything, and now we can easily tell our AI agent details about the brand. Now let's click on save. So do you remember in our prompt, we had told it that we have two different categories here. First is lifestyle photography and second is product placements. So we also need to have a branch here, one for the product placements and one for lifestyle. So based on whatever they select, it can only run that branch and ignore the other. So for that, I will click on plus and I will search for the switch node, which is basically going to allow us to create these branches. So let's close this and let's open the form inputs. Okay, so the rule here is going to be if this particular response, which is marketing image types, contains, so just go with array and then contains, product placements and mockups, it will go to the first branch. Let's also rename this. So rename output. There you go. And the other rule is if the marketing image types, again, same thing, array and then contains, lifestyle and photography, it will go to the second branch. So let's rename this. And if you come out of this, you will see two different branches here. First one for the product placement, second one for the lifestyle. One last thing is going to be to click on add option, then select send data to all matching outputs and turn this on. Just in case they select both, then we'll have to go to both branches. So that's why. Now here, just make sure this is exactly the same as the one here. So even the caps lock, everything should be same. And make sure to drag and drop this one and not these. Okay, so this execute step. And as you can see, we have one item for the first one and one item for the second. That is because while filling out the form, I had selected both of them. So that means both of these branches are going to run. If I had selected, let's say, just this one and not this, then this would be 0 and nothing would go there. Okay, so let's go ahead and create the branch for the first one. So I hope by now you've figured that we're going to have an AI agent in the automation which is going to generate the ideas and the prompts which will later be passed to Gemini or Nano Banana. So in order to create that AI agent, I'm going to click on plus for the first branch. I'm going to select AI and finally AI agent. Okay, so let's start by giving it the user message. So in this case, we are going to select define below so that we can write the user message. And in the user message, we are going to pass in all the details we are getting from the previous notes. For example, the form submission answers or the brand details, etc. So let me start off with the product details. So firstly, the product name, which is this one. You just have to drag and drop it, that's it. Then we have product category, which is this one, and similarly all the other ones. Also, let me open it up for you so that you can see it easily. So similarly, we have to do it for all of these. Okay, so these ones are done. We don't need to specify the image types, that is not relevant here. So as you can see, product name, category, everything has been filled out. Now let's give it the brand details. So that is going to come from edit fields. If you remember, we had filled it out. Same process here as well. Brand name, then brand tone. Okay, so I filled out all of them. As you can see here, we have got the results. And that's all we have to put in the user message. The main prompting will be done in the system prompt. So let's click on add option and let's select system message. Now in this particular prompt, we're going to tell it all that it has to do. So let me click on expression and let me open it up for you. So to save your time as well as mine, I have already written the system prompt. You can grab it easily for free from the resources. As I said before, you will find everything else there as well. So it's just good to, open the resources in a new tab and just keep on copy pasting from there. Okay, so here's the system prompt. So we're starting with the role about what it is supposed to do, who it is. Then we have the tasks. So basically you have to, generate the ideas, you have to generate the final prompt, and then you have to give us a JSON with all the 5 prompts. So instead of running it 5 times, we're asking it to give us a JSON with all the 5 prompts together. Now, if you want to change the style of your images, for example, you don't want it to be cinematic, instead you want it to be soft, subtle and elegant, then all you have to do is you have to change the pointers here. So instead of realistic and achievable, it can be like delicate, soft, pastel, etc. And it will accordingly write the prompts for you. Since we're expecting JSON, I will turn on this toggle button which says require specific output format. And let's come out of this. Then we are going to click on output parser, then structured, and then we will select define using JSON schema. Here is the JSON schema. Again, you can copy paste it from the resources. So since it is JSON, we need to actually tell it what all to generate in the final response. So that is needed. Okay, lastly, we need to connect a chat model. Now you have the option of connecting it to Anthropic, OpenAI, or anyone on the list. It's up to you which one you want to go with. But in this particular case, I'm going to go with OpenRouter. So OpenRouter is this platform which basically combines all of these models out there, may it be Anthropic, may it be Gemini, may it be OpenAI, or any other. And you can access them at one place and inside your automation without having to create accounts with all of these. So all you have to do is go to keys, then click on create API key, give your API key a name, click on create, it's going to give you a key, come back to N8N, click on create new credential and then paste your API key. And that is going to connect your OpenRouter account to N8N. For the model, I think OpenAI's GPT 4.1 mini is fine. If it underperforms, then you can always switch to GPT 4.0. And the good thing is that OpenRouter also has Nano Banana's API, which is Gemini 2.5 Flash Image Preview. Now, the reason why I'm not going with Google AI directly and I'm going through OpenRouter is because I've had a little bit of a bad experience with their API. Firstly, the verification, they ask you for a ton of documents, they ask you for everything, it takes a lot of time to verify, and it's a bit of a hassle. That too, just to, get the API to generate these images, just imagine. And the other thing is that they don't update the usage very, very regularly. So what happened the other day was I was generating VO3 videos using API, and I went to their usage page to see how much I have spent already. And then they told me that it's not updated yet, it will be updated in some time. And I was like, okay, it wouldn't be that much. And I kept on working on the project. And then once my project was done, I went back to, check the final usage, and I got a really hefty bill. Like, seriously, I had no cap on my usage, and I got a very big bill from them, which I had to essentially pay. And that's why, because of their usage as well, I don't prefer going directly with them. In the case of Open Router, you can just put some money in there. For example, let's say you're putting $5. Then if your $5 get over, then it's not going to charge you on top of that. It's just going to tell you that, your money is over, you can't use our services. But in case of Google AI, I just kept on going and going, and I ended up paying so much to them. So just go to credits and add about $5. That should do. It will help you generate hundreds of images and ideas, etc. So once this is done, we can continue creating our automation. Let's click on save. So one thing to note here is that the AI agent cannot directly look at your image. And that is why we need to add an additional step, which is going to look at the image, give us a text description of the image, which then we will pass to the AI agent so that it can generate the ideas and the prompts. For example, for this one, it would tell it that it's a purple sneaker for women, whatever, all these details, so that it knows and it generates the correct ideas and the prompts. Let me go here, let me click on plus, and let me add another HTTP request module. The method is going to be post. URL is going to be this one. Again, we will be accessing the model through Open Router, as I said. The authentication is going to be predefined, and the credential type is going to be Open Router. And we have already connected our Open Router account, so that's done. And yes, you can copy all of this from the resources, don't worry. Finally, send body, which is going to be using JSON, and here is the JSON. Again, just copy it from there. So we are using Nano Banana's model itself. It's going to describe the product which is there in the image. And just in case you're not seeing this as green even after copying it from the resources, all you have to do is open up the upload file one and just drag and drop the web content link between these quotation marks. That's it. Now let me click on execute. Okay, so it says bad request, it could not access the image. That is because inside our Google Drive, we did not make this folder public. So just go to uploaded images folder and just make sure to share it with anyone with link. Okay, and let's click on done. Now let's run it one more time. Okay, so now it is executing. Basically, the image analysis is going on. Okay, so it's done, and as we can see, we have got this analysis. So it's telling that the image displays a single athletic shoe, likely a running or training shoe, blah, blah, blah. Color is plum colored purple. Then it's telling about the material, the laces and everything. That's exactly what we wanted, right? So now we're going to go to the AI agent and we are going to add the product description, or basically the product image analysis. And for the product image analysis, it is coming from this HTTP request, which is the content. So let me drag and drop it right here. Okay, so I think we'll have to execute the previous nodes to get a preview. So let me save this. So let me run this module. Actually, it did not run, so that's why we couldn't see the inputs. Now I think we should be able to see the inputs. Yes. Okay, so here's the product image analysis. So without having eyes, the AI agent can still understand what is the product, how it looks, etc. Okay, so the AI agent setup is complete. Now we can finally run the AI agent and let's see the types of ideas it generates. So let's click on execute step. Okay, so we have got the response. We have 5 prompts in front of us. So I think this is it showing the shoe on a giant billboard. This one is showing it in the store. There are some more details and similarly a few more. So if you remember, this is the product placement one and not the lifestyle. So this won't be related to humans or realistic situations. Instead, it would be more of a display or an ad that you can put on your social medias. Okay, so now that we have got the ideas and the prompts, all we have to do is generate the image using Nano Banana, and that's it. So since we had got a JSON with 5 different prompts, I will first have to split them out. So just search for split out and just drag and drop output here and click on execute. And now as we can see, we have 5 different items, which means one got splitted into 5. Okay, so now we are going to loop over these 5 items. So we are going to generate only one image at a time, and we will upload one image at a time to Google Drive. And once the first image is done, it's going to wait and then generate the second one, so on and so forth. The loop continues until the 5 images are done. So let me click on plus, let me search for loop over items, and let me click on execute. So once we add loop, we have 2 different options. One is what happens during the loop and what happens after. So in this case, nothing happens after. Everything that happens within the loop itself. So let me delete this extra node and let's start creating our loop. So the very first step of the loop is going to be sending all of these details to Nano Banana to get the final image. So I'm going to click on plus and I'm going to search for HTTP request. Also, just in case you're wondering if we can use Gemini directly through that available node, then you can, but you won't be able to pass your product image using that node. So you will have to eventually go with HTTP request, even if you go with Google AI directly or you go with OpenRouter. So here the method is going to be post. The URL is this one. You can copy it from the resources. Authentication predefined for OpenRouter. And here's the account we had already connected. And then we're going to send the final body, again using JSON. And here is the final JSON. Again, you can copy it. So here all we are doing is we are passing the prompt which we had got from the AI agent, which is this one. And secondly, we are passing the product image that we had got from the form, which is this particular image. Just in case you're seeing this as red, all you have to do is drag and drop this. If you're seeing this one as red, all you have to do is go to upload file and drag and drop the web content link. So now that this is done, let's click on execute step and let's see the first image we've got. Okay, so we have got the response. As you can see, it said absolutely here's the giant billboard installation you requested, and then it has given us the image URL. Now this is not an actual URL. We'll have to change it a bit to actually get to the final image. So let's do that. So I'm going to add another node in the same loop, and this time it's going to be edit fields. Let me click on this. The name, I think I can just name it data, doesn't matter. And the value is going to be this. So you can easily copy it from the resources. Let me explain what is happening here. So we're just trying to trim this part from this so that we can easily upload it to Google Drive. Because if you don't do this step, then Google Drive will give you an error and it won't happen. So that's why we're just replacing or trimming this part. Now let's click on execute step. And yes, if you click on execute for this one, it might run the previous node again because they are in loop. So that's why. Okay, so after a few seconds, we have got the data, which is nice. Next up, we are going to convert it into a file. So select convert to file and then select move base 64 to file. Here it's going to be data because we had named it data. And now let's click on execute. Okay, so we have got our file, which means we can finally see the image. So let's click on view. And there you go. This is the image it generated, which is again product placement and mockups. So it's more of a billboard in a city. As I said, the style is cinematic right now. So that's why you're seeing all of this. So it rendered the shoe properly and it also rendered the text properly, which is nice. Now let's go ahead and upload it to Google Drive and this branch will be completed. So I'm going to search for Google Drive and then upload file. I feel the file name can be the same for all of these product placement and mockups. And the parent folder is going to be by ID and the folder is going to come from the Google Drive node, which is this one, create folder. So here's the ID. So if you remember in the beginning, we had created a node which is going to create a folder wherein all the images are going to be stored. So this is the exact same one. And now let's click on execute. And as I said, since it is in a loop, it's going to run all of these again, and we might get a new image this time for the same prompt. So basically a variation of it, but it's fine. Things like these happen when you're testing. Okay, so this is done. Let's go back to our Google Drive. So this was our parent folder, and this is the product folder. And here we have the image. Let me click on it. Okay, so here's the image. As I said, it could be a variation because it's running it again, so that's fine. Now, right now, we only got one image, but when we run the entire loop, it's going to generate 5 different ones and upload 5 to it. So now let's create the second branch of the automation, which is for lifestyle and mockups. So basically, if you want images like these, which are based on real world scenarios, then that is what the second branch is going to get you. And the good part is that we don't have to do all of this hard work again. All we have to do is just duplicate this and change a few things. So just duplicate it using either Control D or Command D, and let's connect it to the second branch and let's save it. Let's go to the AI agent first. So the user message is going to be the same, but the system message is going to change here. And here is the new system message. Again, you can copy it from the resources. The main change here is that we are telling it to place the product in different environments and different settings using different subjects. That is the main difference between the two prompts. And that's it. If you now click on execute, it should generate a new set of prompts which are based on real life scenarios. Okay, so we've got the responses. It took some time, but now we finally have it. So I really like the last idea here, which is a young woman stepping out of a sleek black SUV onto a corporate plaza wearing the shoe. So just imagine the amount of creativity which is going here. So it's telling that it's a woman who is strong and independent, and she's coming out of her car and she's wearing our shoes. And similarly, a few more. Now let's set up the next one, which is split out. The things are going to be the same. All we have to do is just click on execute and execute. Okay, then we have loop over items, same thing, execute. There we go. Then we have this HTTP request module. The things are going to be the same. So again, execute here as well. In the meantime, let's go ahead and rename the automation. So let's call it Nano Banana Marketing Creatives Generator. Okay, so this one is also done. Let's go to the next one. And this is again the same thing. You don't have to change anything. Okay, so we've got the output. That first part has been trimmed, which is great. And now this one, execute. Okay, so we've got the image. Are you excited to see it? So let's click on view. You can even download it if you want. Okay, there you go. So it's a woman who is tying that shoe and she's on her terrace. And as we can see, all the skyscrapers, etc. It's looking very, very beautiful. Lastly, the Google Drive one, and here we'll have to change the file name. So instead of product placement, it's going to be lifestyle photography. And all the other things are going to be the same. Let's click on execute. Now it's going to generate the image one more time. So we're going to get a variation of the same one, which is fine. Okay, so it's running and done. Let's go back to that same folder, and there we go. We have another image. I mean, I like this one as well. Her outfit is very experimental here, to be honest. So in the brand details, we had mentioned how this brand is for bold and independent women who want comfort and fashion. So it's trying really hard to, show a woman who is strong, independent, and is not afraid to stand out, which I think is great. These AI LLM models are now understanding things as well, instead of just doing what we're telling them to do. So even without mentioning in the prompt, it would come up with that because we had mentioned that in the brand details. That's why I prefer automations instead of going to Gemini's website and generating them back and forth. And the best part is the consistency is going to be maintained. So let's say you use this automation for the next 6 months and you go back to your Instagram feed, then all the images that have been generated will seem like the same graphic designing team designed them, because of the color choices and the lighting and all of that. So now let's go ahead and finalize this automation, and let's do one complete test of the automation end to end. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to turn on the automation, And now we're going to go to the form submission node, and instead of the test URL, now we're going to copy the production URL. Now, since the automation has been turned on, you won't have to come to Anyten each time. You can just save this URL somewhere, and every time you want to generate these images, just open that URL in a new tab and then fill out the form. There's no need for you to go to Anyten. So let me change the product name this time so that we can distinguish between the images that were created prior and the ones that have been created now. So let's call it Galaxy Stride. I mean, I don't know if it makes sense, but it's fine. So it's female shoes. Okay, and I'm going to ask it to generate both of these image types. And now let me click on generate. Form submitted. Let's go back to our Anyten automation. Let's go to executions. And as we can see, the automation is running. Now, you don't have to go to Anyten each time. I'm just going to show you that it's running on the back end. Okay, so it ran for a total of 4 minutes and we have got the results. As you can see, 5 images for lifestyle and 5 for product placement. If I go back to Anyten, we can see that it ran for 4 minutes and 17 seconds. Also, it can show you that there was an error because we haven't connected anything after the loop completes. Maybe you can add a note to send yourself an email or something like that, but I just did not. So that's fine. There's no real error. Don't be surprised to see that. So let's go ahead and see the images it created. So let's start with lifestyle. Okay, so that's the first image. So it's a woman who is running in a forest type of a setting and she is wearing the shoes from our brand. Looks realistic. I would use it directly inside my campaigns. So okay, let's have a look at the next one. Okay, I like this. So okay, again, do you also see how these showpieces have a proper shadow to them? I really like it. And then here are the shoes. Even if we look at the skin of this person, it looks very, very real. Just have a look at the texture of the skin. I mean, great. So, okay, I would absolutely put it on my Instagram. I mean, if I had a shoe brand like this. So, next up, again, great. Love the shadow here. Awesome. Let's have a look at the next one. Okay, so it's 4 friends and she's wearing the shoe. She's clicking an image of maybe herself or maybe her, don't know. And she's looking at her and there's another woman here. Okay, so 3 of them are wearing our shoes, which is great. And then we have this. So again, in a gym setting. So it's showing that people can wear it for training purposes. Now we have come to product placement and mockups. Lifestyle is done. So here is the first one. We clearly have the product name here, which is Galaxy Stride. And we have the product placed right on top of this. So it's an ad inside a metro. Again, we have the product name. Independent strength is the tagline, I think. And then we have the image of the product along with this background. And let's have a look at the people. Okay, looks very realistic actually. I mean, Nano Banana is really great at realistic settings. I wouldn't lie. Okay, then we have our product in a shelf. So this is, I mean, not the most favorite of mine, but again, a good one if you want to use it somewhere here and there in your campaign. And then we have it. Okay, this is very bold. So it's a very, very big billboard, I think. And again, unstoppable, fearless. And here is our shoe. Just have a look at the road. Very, very nice. Just have a look at the sky, the skyscrapers. Amazing. And I think this is the last one. And there you go. So those were the 10 images it generated. I could not find any fault in any one of them. Now, obviously, you won't go with all 10 on your social medias, but I think you can easily select 8 out of them. Now, if you're planning to use this system for your business, I would highly recommend you to just play around with the prompts a bit. So you can obviously copy the prompts I have, but then on top of that, also add the types of images you want, the types of settings, the ideas, etc., so that you get even better images which resonate with your brand. And yes, you can easily change if you want 5 images or 10. So here, instead of 5, you can add 10 and just replace 5 with 10. If you want, you can keep on adding more branches to it. So right now we have 2. If you have any other ideas, you can keep on adding them and duplicating it right here. And with that, you will have a completely fully functioning system for you, and you can share the link to the form with your other team members as well, who constantly keep on generating these type of creatives for your team. So that's it for the video. I really hope you found this video valuable and you're going to create that system either for yourself or maybe create it and sell it to other businesses. Don't forget to personalize the automation as per your brand, and do let me know your experience in the comments below. If you're looking for AI automation solutions for your business, then don't forget to check out our website. Link is in the description. You'll find the link to the platforms. You'll find everything in the resources, which is again in the description. If you want, you can access it for free, or if you want to support the channel, then that's up to you. Don't forget to follow me on LinkedIn as well as X. I will meet you in the next video. Till then, bye.